It's Ketchup Packets.
Hey everybody, I'm Sean.
I'm Nate.
And this is Ketchup Packets. Today we're watching another movie. We're back with another patron pick. We've got one from Scott AKA Blue62. We're watching A Streetcar Named Desire from 1951. You knew that already. It's in the title of the video.
It's in the title of the video.
And it was showed before this. Anyway, this movie came out in 1951. So tied for our oldest movie, I think, with Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah.
I got a few things that this title brings to mind. What about you, Nate?
I can't recall anything specific about anything that I know about this movie. Even the name doesn't give me any information.
No, but you've heard the name.
I have heard it, yeah.
In specifically the context of The Simpsons, right?
I don't remember what the referential episode was.
There's a whole episode about this. There's a whole episode where Marge gets a role as the lead in this play.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's a musical version, and it's like when The Simpsons did the musical version of Planet of the Apes, where like it's funny that they made a musical of this, I think. Like the idea that it doesn't lend itself to being a musical.
I like that episode of The Simpsons, but I forgot that it was A Streetcar Named Desire.
It is.
Yeah, got it.
So there's that. We have that for reference. I remember some things about like who the characters are and the plot from that, like in terms of who Blanche is and stuff, and like the line, "You can always depend on the kindness of strangers." And there's like a whole ending musical number about that.
You can always depend on the kindness of strangers. Yes.
So it's not going to be that demeanor at all, I don't think, in this movie.
No.
But that line will be in there.
And it seems like the subject matter is pretty dark, if I remember correctly. There's a bottle stabbing scene.
That's right. Right. Stanley is her husband, I think. And he's like Flanders plays him on the.
Yes.
We're gonna really annoy fans of this movie by talking about the Simpsons version.
But we know it. It's in the cultural ethos.
Yes. Marlon Brando is Stanley in this movie. He's looking at us in the thumbnail right there.
It's looking good.
Yes. I believe that Marlon Brando as this character is what popularized the T-shirt in American culture.
Oh, wild.
He before this, a T-shirt was like an undershirt that you would put on under your actual button-up that you'd wear around. And then he is walking around in this movie wearing just a T-shirt, and it made it a thing people wanted to do to be like Macho Marlon Brando.
Now I'm wearing just a T-shirt.
I'm wearing a T-shirt. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's, it affected the culture, and I believe, I could be wrong about that, but I think that's a factoid about this movie.
It's kind of one of those things that I always just assumed that the T-shirt was just kind of always a thing, or had
cavemen created the T-shirt.
Yes, exactly. That was kind of one of the first clothes. That's like, oh, if you don't want something with long sleeves and it's warm outside, you have the same basic thing, but it has short sleeves on.
But it makes sense that wrap it around and fasteners is the way it would go for a long time, because that's what you do with a fur that you get off an animal or whatever. You wrap it on, or a blanket, you wrap it on yourself. And so then the evolution of that is make holes to put your arms through after you wrap it around yourself. And the T-shirt was pull it over your head. That's the difference.
I wonder what popularized the shoe, or
stepping on rocks too much.
Jeans. Yeah.
Jeans is an interesting one. Why these blue canvas pants, everybody? That's, why is it blue? Did they do that intentionally? I mean, I know there's other colors, but
they dye the jeans don't come out blue naturally. Automatically. They dye the blue. So
they don't grow blue.
No, they don't.
We're off topic.
Yes, we are.
A Streetcar Named Desire. Let's watch this movie.
Absolutely.
Okay, thanks for choosing this, Scott AKA Blue62. He did that on the Patreon, which we have. There's a link below this box that you watched the video in. Click on that if you want to. You might see some things there. Who knows? Okay, thanks. Subscribe.
I'm looking for my sister, Stella Dubois. Sister Stanley Kowalski.
Yeah, that's a body, all right. You just did miss it, though.
Yeah, she feels so out of place compared to what's happening around her.
Come say hello to Stanley first. No, not now, not now. Would you say hello? Which is he? Which one is he?
Wow.
Yeah, go say hello to Stanley.
I'll take a leave of absence. I couldn't put all those details into the wire. Oh, this buzzes right through me and feels so good. Would you like another?
You can't keep up with this lady.
Yeah, no.
I weigh now what I weighed the summer you left Belle Reed. The summer Dad died. And you left it.
Okay.
And I don't get worried. Your sister hasn't turned into a drunkard. She's just all shaken up and hot and dirty and tired.
Duh. You need to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Take a nap.
There's only 2 rooms. I don't see where you're gonna put me. Oh, we'll put you right here. Well, what kind of a bed's this? One of those collapsible things?
Are they?
All right.
Their family must be like well-to-do, and
Yeah.
sister like got out of there.
But what is Blanche doing here?
She's falling apart, visiting her sister about it.
Belle Reed? Lost, is it? Yes.
So she lost the old family house?
Go? What happened? Fine one to ask me how it went. What? You're a fine one to stand there accusing me of it.
Yeah, dude, she's just like immediately defensive.
Yeah, she feels a lot of guilt clearly about whatever happened.
Yes, accuse me. Stand there and stare at me thinking I let the place go.
Jeez.
I let the place go. Where were you? In there with your Polak. Still, that's
Whoa. That's a bad word, right?
Yeah.
Why don't you just get yourself...
What do you want in the newspaper?
I'm sick and tired of chasing.
Intense. Everybody in this movie so far, this entire movie's been very, very intense. And there's Marlon Brando. Cool as a cucumber.
Looks very different from Apocalypse Now or The Godfather.
Yeah, big time.
Tell us folks a good deal about you. She said you were married once, weren't you?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Blanche is teetering.
The boy died.
Oh, no. Whoa.
She seems like she's had a lot of tragedy in her life.
Yeah.
Honey, look, when she comes in, be sure and say something nice about her appearance. And don't mention the baby. I haven't said anything yet. I'm waiting until she gets in the private.
Oh,
Oh,
what
boy.
now?
Looks to me like you've been swindled, baby, and when you get swindled on Napoleonic code, I get swindled too, and I don't like to get swindled.
Stanley.
Yeah,
So he's not worried about her getting her share, he's worried about him getting her share.
That's right.
Anyone else?
Now, I mean, what, has she got this on a teacher's page? When you look at these fine feathers and fur, she comes to bring herself in here.
That's a fair question.
Yes, no, it is. I mean, the question he's asking is perfectly reasonable. The way he's asking it is not.
Yeah.
I mean, here's your
All these long,
Oh, you know I just...
these long scenes, these long shots. You just don't see this shit anymore.
Right, well, this is a play.
Yeah.
This is just like them expertly setting up cameras to shoot a play, but they're performing just the stage play.
Yeah.
How do I look?
Feels okay.
Thanks.
Your wife said compliment her. He's not doing
No,
what she
he's
said.
not
Not happy about this.
happy about this, yeah.
I never cheated my sister. Or you. Or anyone else on earth as long as I lived.
Well, where are the papers in your trunk?
Everything I own is in that trunk.
Okay. Well, are there
Well,
papers
where
in
are
there?
the
What do
papers?
you think? I keep my papers mostly in this tin box.
What are those underneath?
What are those underneath?
Some love letters. Yellowing with antiquity.
Of
All
her
from one boy.
dead husband? Or...
You should have a look at these.
Put your hands in
Don't pull that stuff.
Oh, jeez.
Dude, she was gonna show you
Hey,
the papers.
Well, he's not in a mood to be cooperated with.
I guess not.
He wants to be. He wants to have the upper hand.
Yes.
Not young. Everyone has something they won't let others touch because of their intimate nature.
That's an interesting way to put that.
Yeah.
The story should be simple.
She wasn't
What
paying attention, I
Yeah, I
think.
guess,
I mean,
yeah.
she's concerned with other things.
Napoleonic code, a man has got to take an interest in his wife's affairs. And I mean, especially now that she's going to have a baby.
God damn, dude.
I want to have a baby.
He wasn't supposed to say that either, right?
Mm-mm. She very lovingly and specifically told her that. Or told him that.
How much longer is this game going to continue?
So we get ready to quit.
Call it quits after one more hand.
That's my code!
That didn't seem very playful.
No.
There you go, Ann. Try that cackle in there.
You can't hear us.
But you can hear me, and I told you to hush up.
Mad at them for
Damn,
laughing?
Yeah. Starting to think it's kind of a theme in these older movies that the guy is just an enormous prick, and then he just remains an enormous prick until the end of the story. I sincerely doubt that Marlon Brando learns anything, changes in any noticeable way.
Doesn't
during
seem to
the
be a story about him specifically.
No. It's a story about dealing with him. It's kind of like HUD.
Who turned it on in there?
Hi, do you mind?
Well, turn it off. Hey, come on, will you let the girls have their music? You're starting good, very good.
Yeah, at least his friends are being like, dude,
Yeah.
let him hang out.
Damn.
Say, huh? I didn't hear you name it. I think I named it, Mitch. Oh, I wasn't listening.
Just stand there menacing her.
You are Stella's sister, are you not?
Yes, Stella is my precious little sister. I call her little in spite of the fact that she's somewhat older than I am.
I think that's
I
true.
see.
Oh, just slightly,
What?
less than a year.
She's the older sister?
Yeah, I think Blanche is the older one.
Ah, that makes sense, yeah.
Turn on the radio. Turn on the light above now. Oh, look. We've made enchantment.
Whew.
What?
Dude.
It's just so... Like, they weren't trying to make you think you're peering into reality.
No, yeah,
Like
it's just very...
They're performing for you in so much of a different way, you know? Oh, damn!
I might have thought Stella would have said, Blanche,
Jesus!
he's gonna freak out. Oh,
He broke so
Damn,
much of their
dude.
house.
Yeah.
Like, breaking windows and stuff. And
yeah,
Yeah,
at least his
cold
friends were like,
shower.
are you out of your damn mind? They're just, I think it's mostly humiliation. I think they knocked him out.
oh, yeah. Oh, he's gonna scream it. Remember?
Yeah.
Flanders?
Oh, I know. I'm waiting for it. What did you think, dude? Can't you hear me, Yella?
You're putting me through hella.
Oh, I really hope you guys have seen The Simpsons.
It's not our fault that The Simpsons did a memorable musical
Yes.
episode about this.
This is the cycle, man. You're the victim now, huh, buddy? Look at how
And she's
sorrowful you are.
forgiving him now, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to blame her for that.
No,
I'm just saying
this
that's the
is-
cycle. Yeah.
This is a very realistic cycle of behavior. Holy hell. Is this all the aftermath from that?
Or did they do more?
My baby sister.
Yeah, Blanche is definitely older. She
Yeah.
just, when she told the man she's my baby sister, she caught herself and was like, oh, I say baby even though I'm the younger
Yeah.
one.
Pull yourself together, face the facts. What are they in your opinion?
In my opinion, you're married to a madman.
Oh my god.
Got a plan.
Go somewhere else and have this conversation. They're both terrified.
Yeah. She just can't resist him. She's just got it bad for this guy.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Well, this somebody named Shaw's under the impression that he met you in Oregon. He met at a hotel called the Flamingo.
I guess he does have me mixed up with this other party. The Hotel Flamingo is not a place that I would dare to be seen in.
You
Mm.
know that? But he goes in and out of Oriole all the time. So he can check and clear on any mistake.
So,
I see what the photo
Blanche was doing some less than reputable work.
Think so?
I don't know. I'm trying to interpret what it
Yeah.
is he's accusing her of and claims to have evidence of.
What have people been telling you about me?
Tell me.
I haven't heard
Don't play dumb.
Haven't been so awfully good the last year or so since Beryl Reeve started to slip through my fingers.
Oh, so when she got desperate before she really lost the house.
I'm fading now.
Okay.
Yeah, so she...
A lot of it's kind of coming together.
Yep.
Have you been listening to me?
I never listen to you when you're being morbid.
Morbid.
She's trying to, like, confide in you.
Yeah.
This is why she came
She doesn't
here.
want to acknowledge it. I think she feels some guilt about the fact that she just left. Because their dad died too, and
Yeah.
then she just took off. And, you know, this is what came of it, then...
Just think, if it happens, I can go away from here and not be anyone's problem.
Oh my god.
Dude.
Will have.
This is amazing how this
Yeah.
one scene is like cracked the whole movie wide open. you
Yeah,
know?
totally. I found Blanche insufferable for most of this movie until I learned more about...
Suddenly all her
Yeah.
behavior makes sense.
Yep.
All to be first? No, presente. Oh, merci.
Wow.
May I kiss you?
Why do you always ask me if you may?
Well, I don't know whether you want me to or not.
Why should you be so doubtful?
Well, then I
Yeah,
won't
you're
go
not
by the
really
way, can I
exactly
kiss you?
being...
It wasn't the kiss I objected to. I like the kiss very
You're not
much.
wooing her, right?
Yeah, well, she's also giving him I want to go home signals.
Yeah.
You know?
He's got to keep a firm hold on her emotions.
There's a difference between hard to get and disinterested, in
Right,
my
but
opinion.
he definitely has "do you think she's into me" syndrome, though, where
Yes.
like he would not pick up the biggest signals on the planet.
Totally.
Because in all my experience, I have never known anyone like you.
Wow.
Wow, that's very...
Are you laughing at me?
Yeah, I might just walk away from this if I was him.
Why don't you sit down? Take off your coat. Loosen your collar.
No, I better leave it on.
No, I want you to be comfortable.
No, I'm ashamed of the way I perspired. My shirt is sticking to me.
Oh well, he's just up front.
Yeah, dude.
People didn't perspire, they would die in 5 minutes. So, well, this is a nice coat. What material is it?
They call this stuff alpaca.
Ooh, that's a nice coat.
No kidding. It's probably really warm though.
Yeah.
No wonder you're
Yeah,
sweating.
dude.
Go on, let me.
Why, you're light as a feather.
You may release me now.
Huh?
I said on hand, me, sir. Oh, Mitch, I can
Oh, come on. Don't blow it, dude.
Just give me a slap whenever I step out of bounds.
Okay.
It won't be necessary. You're a natural,
Oh, she's
Okay,
just
there
not-
we go. So she's like, so let's go somewhere private.
Well, I guess I have old-fashioned ideals.
Okay, is that a rejection?
Yes, it's a rejection.
What are you doing? He's got to get rid of his erection.
Where's Stanley and Stella?
I think they were planning on taking a midnight cruise.
Sure looks like it,
We
doesn't
all
it?
ought to go out together. Blanche, can I ask you a question?
Yes, what?
This is such an awkward date.
Yeah.
I talked to my mother about you, and she said, how old is Blanche?
You talked to your mother about me?
Yes.
Well,
Why?
are you gonna lie?
She won't live long. Maybe just a few months, and she worries because I'm not settled. She wants to see me settle down before she...
Oh,
Oh, God.
that's a lot of pressure.
When I was 16, I made the discovery. Love. All at once and much, much too completely. It was like you
It
suddenly
sounds
turned
like...
blinding light.
Does kind of sound like a 16-year-old, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't understand why this boy who wrote poetry didn't seem able to do anything else. Lost every job.
And then if he died, she could go through life with the idea that that was a quality that he had that she can't find with anyone else, instead of just a quality of her own youth. you know?
Right, yeah, exactly.
Unendurable. But that's why I killed him.
What?
Doing what?
What? What?
Directly? Blanche, you need to continue speaking.
Yeah.
Suddenly, in the middle of the dance floor, the boy I had married broke away from me and ran out of the casino. A few minutes later, shot.
What?
All ran and gathered about the terrible thing at the edge of the lake.
So she feels responsible for his death.
On the dance floor, unable to stop myself, I said, "You're weak. I've lost respect for you.
Oh.
Okay.
I despise you."
So it was the last thing. Jesus.
Yeah, good luck ever recovering from that.
Yeah.
You need somebody. And I need somebody too.
It is kind of perfect. But neither of them seem emotionally ready for that.
Yeah.
There you go. Little vulnerability. That's all you
Exactly.
needed.
The closeness will be good for you.
Thank God. So quickly.
So, I'm understanding more and more fully how it's a joke in and of itself that The Simpsons would have a musical of this.
Yeah, dude, it's fucked up.
Which is a second-class hotel and has the advantages of not interfering with the private and social life of the personalities there.
Except for spreading around their business.
And in fact, it was so impressed that they requested her to turn in her room key for permanently. And this happened a couple of weeks before she showed here.
Oh.
God damn it, dude.
And as time went by, she became the town character, regarded not just as different, but downright local and nuts. Which brings us to line number 2.
So, are you sure this is the right way to present this?
A 17-year-old kid she got mixed up with, and the boy's dad learned about it, and he got in touch with a high school superintendent.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
God.
An ordinance passed against her.
Blanche.
Well, don't expect Mitch over here tonight.
He told him.
Oh.
Stanley Kowalski, did you repeat what that...
Let your hat, I told him. I would have that on my conscience the rest of my life if I knew all that stuff and let my best friend get
That's I mean, you're war brothers with this guy.
Yeah? Like, you want to
know
fill him
this,
in,
yeah.
yeah.
What on earth was she doing?
Oh, her future is mapped out for her.
Damn, dude.
That's harsh.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel so good after a long hot bath. I feel so good and cool and wet.
Yeah.
This is her entire personality is just her crushing her own
A hot bath and a
like
little
misery
cold
into
drink.
like a little ball
Yeah.
inside of her chest that she just it's like a star trying to explode and then the
Sure,
gravity
yeah.
pushing it down, you know?
Yeah.
The only way to hush the bear up was to put the cover back.
What?
Must be upstairs.
Oh, she's waiting.
Well, the only way to hush the bear up.
She's
Oh.
hoping to hear from him.
Go on.
So far as she knows, she just got ghosted after being all vulnerable with this guy.
It's true, yeah.
Go wash up and then help me clear the table.
Oh,
Yeah, dude.
no, get out of here. Like, flee now.
Yeah.
The moment this activates, get away from him. I mean, I guess he'd chase you.
Yeah.
What did he tell you?
Nothing.
I think
Just
you
tell
told
her.
Mitch and me. You know why Mitch didn't come tonight, but you won't tell me.
Just tell her.
Don't call if I
You're just gonna let her spin out in her head and explain it however she will, you know?
Right,
You have to tell her.
I've been given some explanations and so much.
You can find out how much of it is true. Even
Yeah.
if she doesn't want to admit it, you can tell by the look on her face. Like,
Seems
just
like-
understand. Yeah.
They're not close as siblings, you know?
Yeah. For real.
It's gonna be all right again between you and me the way it was.
The way it was, how
How
was this
wonderful.
any different?
Yeah.
Mitch seemed to think that this is par for the course, basically.
I got a little birthday remembrance for you.
Oh, shit.
I hope that you like it.
This proof of the gossip he's heard.
That's a ticket back to Oriel on the bus, Tuesday.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, hey. You know, though, there is a piece of this where you could try just being a little bit less obtrusive.
Yeah.
Like, she's created so much anxiety in the house with just her whole deal.
She's
a lot.
She's the main character.
Yes.
You know, I mean, in this movie, but
Yes.
she also thinks of herself that way.
Wasn't we happy that it wasn't all okay that she showed here hoity-toity describing me like an ape?
I feel like it can't possibly have been all okay. Like, that wasn't the first time he blew up after
No,
she showed
absolutely
up.
not.
Sir?
But I feel like throwing somebody like Blanche into a situation like this does upheave the entire careful
It's true.
balance of the situation.
They don't have a lot of extra space, and
Right,
she
exactly.
takes up a lot of space with her personality, so...
Baby, what is it?
Stella, what are you doing? Hospital? Oh, something wrong with the baby?
Who is it? Please.
Oh. Maybe he was kept away for some other reason.
And she's all wasted now.
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't sound like Mitch.
No, it was him. I heard his voice. Oh.
Oh.
Hello, Mitch. Yeah.
Oh, he got drunk, and now he came here to confront her.
I forgive you. I forgive you because it's such a relief to see you. You stopped that poke at you and I had caught in my
Oh,
head. You know,
shush.
in your head.
Just don't. Just get out of here, Mitch.
How's your mother? Is your mother well?
Why?
Damn!
Music again.
What music?
Yeah, what music?
Oh, she's having she's having a psychotic break.
Yeah.
Oh, here's something. Southern cheer. How can that be a wonder? Of course, you boys wouldn't notice a thing like that. I've done so much to this place compared
Aren't
to
you leaving here pretty soon now?
So he's just trying to find a way to bring this up, or...
I don't know. I don't know why he's here. Seems like rubbing salt in the wound.
Yeah.
Terribly sweet. Try, maybe you will.
I told you before I don't want any of his liquor, and I mean it. He says you've been lapping it up all summer like a wildcat.
Understandable level of such cheap
Yeah, so... Stanley gave a very negative review to Mitch of what kind of person Blanche is.
Dark in here.
I like the dark. The dark is comforting to me.
I've never seen you in the light, that's a fact. I've never seen you in the afternoon.
There's some obscure meaning in this that I fail to
What it
catch.
means is I've never had a real good look at you, Blanche.
Oh, so he has a misconception about how old she really is, doesn't he?
What did you want to do that for?
So that I can take a look at you good and plain.
Of course, you don't really mean to be insulting.
No, just realistic.
I don't want realism, I want magic.
Magic.
Yes, magic.
Oh, God.
Try to give that to people. I do misrepresent things I don't tell.
Just like Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't turn the light on.
Jesus, this is crazy.
All the rest.
All the rest of what?
The stuff he learned about her.
Didn't you stay in a hotel called the Flamingo?
Flamingo? No.
Stop lying.
Tarantula was the name of it.
Yeah.
I stayed at a hotel called the Tarantula Arms.
Tarantula.
Yes, a big spider. That's why I brought my victim.
That's a
yes.
cool name for a hotel.
Yeah.
I have had
Lies! Lies inside and out! All lies!
never inside. I never lied in my heart.
See? Stop lying.
Yeah, that's
You
not how it
just-
works.
yeah.
You don't get to decide I didn't lie in my heart when you lied to somebody.
Yes. The lie came out your mouth and
Yeah.
into his ears, and he believed what you were saying
That's
to
what I
him.
mean when I say she's the main character. You know?
Saturday nights they would go in town to get drunk. And on the way back they would stagger onto my lawn and call, Blanche. Blanche.
She is losing it.
Oh,
There you
okay.
go. That's all he needed was the truth.
Yeah.
Should have started with that.
Marry me, Mitch.
Bah.
Oh.
No, I don't think I want to marry you anymore.
No.
No, you're not clean enough to bring in the house.
Fuck. Okay, never mind. He's a dick.
before I start squealing.
So what did he think was gonna happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was...
Why did he come there?
I really don't know. He was drunk, I think.
She's doing okay.
Oh, the
What
baby.
the fuck? Oh.
Well, the baby won't come till tomorrow, so they told me to go home and get a little shut-eye.
Oh, I see. So early labor. Okay.
She didn't look pregnant at all. Right?
Yeah, they didn't like make her seem super
notice,
pregnant,
yeah.
that's for sure.
I received a telegram from an old admirer of mine.
Anything good?
I think so. An invitation.
She's just a liar, man.
Yeah.
A cruise to the Caribbean on a yacht.
Oh, wow.
This old relic is only rhinestone.
Oh, I thought it was Tiffany's diamonds.
Well, I shall be entertained.
Did he have her stuff appraised like he said he was going to?
Show you, Blanche, you'll never know what's coming.
Just when I thought my
Yeah, I
luck was beginning to
guess.
fail me.
Into the picture pops this Miami millionaire.
She's already dug around in everything else in her life, I imagine he did.
A cultivated woman, a woman of breeding and intelligence, can enrich a man's life immeasurably. I have those things to offer.
You're lying.
Time doesn't take them away.
I don't think she's lying about having those things to offer.
Yes,
I don't
no,
think that's
she's
why
lying
she
about
gets hired.
Yes.
He came the other night. He dared coming in his work clothes. Through beat slam, the vicious stories he'd gotten from you. I gave him his walking papers. He returned with a box of roses to beg my forgiveness.
Liar.
Oh, yeah, she just tells the story she wishes was true.
She's completely lost it.
Was this before or after you got the telegram?
He's so gross.
She forgot about the lie she just told.
Like my wife.
As a matter of fact, there wasn't no wire at all.
She
There was
just
no millionaire.
really unhinged.
Yeah, she's...
I missed him coming here.
I would be really
to
frustrated,
find out where
too.
he is.
with her just constantly lying to me in my own home about
Yeah.
everything. And like,
And look at yourself.
it's not all my business, but you are living in my house. I'm not justifying this part though. He's still,
No.
he makes good points and then just expresses himself in the most horrible ways.
Right.
He's a piece of shit.
Never mind, long distance gonna be Western Union. Western Union. Union. Take down his mask.
Oh my god, if I was the operator, I'd just be like,
Then
are you in distress?
caught in a trap.
This is also a movie about her descent into
Total insanity?
insanity, yeah.
Yeah. She's lost her grip.
As visualized by Marge hanging from the rope with all the colored lights,
Yes.
just like sort of swinging
Flying around.
screwed,
Yeah.
Stand over there.
You got plenty of room to get by me now.
What?
Gotta get out. Somehow.
You think I'm gonna interfere with you?
I mean, you just stopped her.
Oh shit.
Now you're in a lot of danger.
Well, maybe you wouldn't be bad to interfere with.
No.
What are you putting on now?
Dude.
He looks really scary. The look on his face.
Gleeful at her terror is always
I'm in danger.
bad luck.
Oh, there we go. The smashed bottle.
I was waiting for it. I knew it was coming right now.
Alright, let's have a little fuss.
Oh, does she kill him? Doesn't she kill him? I remember Flanders getting stabbed with the bottle, doesn't he?
Yeah, but he was supposed to overpower her.
I'm trying.
He killed
Okay.
her.
Oh. So The Simpsons ruined my experience at the
Yes.
end of the movie.
Lucky, believe me, you're lucky, that's all.
So what exactly did he just do to Blanche?
I don't know.
Gonna get through, but I would and I did. I
don't know if I'm totally clear on that. It was quick.
Keep telling her that we made arrangements for her to rest in the country, but she's got
all mixed up in her mind about a cruise to the islands with Shep Huntley.
She's completely lost it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, if it's not too crushed, I'll wear it. And I'm a little pale red, silver, and turquoise pin in the shape of a seahorse. I'll find it in the heart shape.
Yeah. I worry that
See if you can locate a bunch of artifacts.
Stanley did something horrible.
Couldn't believe her story and going living with Stanley. I couldn't.
Yeah.
What are you two looking at me like that for? Is there something wrong with me?
You look wonderful, Blanche. You look wonderful.
Yeah, she's just not even home anymore.
Mm-mm.
Time to wait outside.
Would you mind waiting outside?
Oh, they're having her committed. That's right. I remember that from the Simpsons episode.
That episode really spoiled a lot of this movie.
Yeah, I mean, it was 40 years old at the time.
Yeah.
Is it the gentleman I was expecting from Dallas?
Yes. Yes, honey, I believe it is.
Not quite really.
I mean, she needs supervised care.
She does. Yeah. It's her,
The places that do that in this time period are not nice
Great.
places
Yeah,
in any
but
way.
her sister, their newborn baby, and her abusive, horrible
Outside the house.
husband, boyfriend are not equipped to deal with this situation.
Who seems to have victimized
Yes,
Blanche
exactly.
particularly.
Yes. He should be in prison
Plain tailored outfit.
too,
Yes.
but that's a different thing.
Yeah. A different question. But yeah, so where she's going is not fun and not enviable.
Shall we go now, Blanche?
I think it also is a lot of times dependent on how often you're visited in those places. Like there's,
Yeah,
like
your
I
visitors
think
don't
they
stay
keep
all
up
the time.
appearances.
Yeah. Oh, she's on to him.
Hello, Blanche.
Yeah, she's just on another planet.
I don't know you. I want to be left alone, please. Now, Blanche.
She seems like there may be some danger. You should probably...
That's the paper lantern you want to take with you. You want the lantern?
She snapped! Oh, God.
Yeah, dude.
Whoa. On the one hand, Mitch is upset about all that, but he's also probably like, look what I almost tried to, like, go marry, you know?
No,
like,
I
she's
think
clearly
that
got some
he's-
problems.
He's pissed at Stanley because he knows exactly what happened.
Oh,
He
sure,
said,
yeah.
you did this to her.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Nails have to be trimmed.
Let go of me.
Yes. Let go.
Wow, the upside down shot of her is so
Yeah.
crazy.
Look at her teardrops on the floor
Yeah.
next to her. What's this actress's name?
I don't remember.
Yeah, she's killer, and she must be very dehydrated after making this movie because she's cried, like,
Yeah.
in every scene practically.
Yeah, imagine having to play this character on stage every night.
Wild, yeah, dude, how exhausting.
Whoever you are, I've always depended on the kindness of strangers.
Wow, that line hits so much harder with the full context of who the character is, you know?
Yeah, dude.
Come on, Stella!
I'm not going back in there again. Not this time. Never.
Here you go,
Oh,
Stella. Get the
okay.
fuck out of there.
Yeah. Take refuge upstairs. Hopefully that guy is not there.
Yeah, dude.
Well, at least Stella got away at the very end there.
Yeah. I feel like that was a small piece of solace in all of this that she finally decided to leave.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
That one was bleak.
Which is kind of funny because I feel like that's the vibe I got even all those years ago when I first saw that episode of The Simpsons. Like, this is about a sad situation.
Yeah,
even
well-
though it's they're making a musical of a you know, kind of a comedy look at it. It's the fact that it's super messed up and sad is actually the piece that made it funnier in a fucked up kind of way, you know, like,
not this movie, made that Simpsons episode funnier.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
Which we will continue to reference. Check out that Simpsons episode if you like this movie, if you're watching this reaction, and you appreciate the comedy of darkness or the darkness of comedy, and you have the
something like that.
reference point of this movie, because we didn't, but we still like remember that. I mean, episode.
I've seen so much Simpsons so many times. Anyway, though, this movie.
Yes. So, God, I feel like a lot of these like older movies that we watch have a point of sexual violence that just like makes any justification, any sort of like understanding of where the already super dickish male character is coming from. It's just like, now I just don't have anything nice to say about
no
this
longer
guy at all.
interested in trying to understand what he thinks.
Right,
know?
yeah, exactly.
But I can see, I mean, save for that bit at the end, which is really extremely transgressive, and everyone would agree to that. Apart from that, I bet that for men at the time that this was released, there was a good portion of the audience that was like, I don't see what's wrong with Stanley, you know, like, yeah, he gets a little hot-headed, he's, you know, but he's a man, he's, you know, like, there'd be a lot of excusing and hand-waving for his bad, violent behavior, and they would lean on the things that we were seeing about the nature of Blanche's presence there, and, like, they would see that as the more important factor.
And you made a good point.
Stanley's actual behavior.
He's literally a World War II vet.
Yeah, exactly.
And, like, those guys saw some shit.
And there was a cultural sort of understanding of, we're going to give them leeway, you know?
Yeah.
Like, we're going to allow these guys more of a chance at just, like, transgressing and stuff than we would your average person because of the sacrifices they made to help us and the things they endured.
We also didn't really understand PTSD in the same way that we do now. And the very idea that you would be traumatized by, like, fighting the good fight and fucking up some Nazis was like kind of not something that we had a full acceptance of.
Yeah,
you know,
they'd be like, they're heroes. They're happy to be heroes.
Yeah.
It's like, no, they watched their friends die around them, and who got to survive and come home was essentially random in a lot of those situations. And yeah, it's very frightening to think about having to endure that kind of thing, and that was really not very long ago.
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
Very few of them, but some of those dudes are still alive.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think about. And I mean, it's frustrating. That last little bit is frustrating because I feel like I have to just throw away any sort of like kind of what I was saying the whole time of that Stanley's actions were inexcusable, but his frustrations and his attitudes towards the situation were understandable. And Blanche was a pathological liar who lied about everything, who held herself over the people who she was depending on. She considered herself to be more important than them, or like a class above them.
It's true.
Well, the real truth was like, no, you've actually lived. You've lived an entire life in between when your sister left and when your father died and stuff, and now that you're just omitting from the conversation altogether.
Sure, yeah.
We as the audience assumed that she came from this wealth, and then immediately were like, well, we lost the house, so I have to go stay with my sister. Whereas there's this whole other story of like desperation that she just didn't. Her own vulnerability just didn't exist.
And for someone like Stanley who grew up working class, there's a built-in class resentment of people who are luckier, and then to have a person like that come and impose on you and stay in your house and take a portion of your resources, and then also have elements in their background that kind of put them on more of an even level with you, but they're refusing to acknowledge that exists at all. It would be just very insulting, and I understand how he would feel that way about it. And again, none of his behavior is excused as a result of that.
We cannot iterate that enough.
Yes.
We are not defending Stanley's actions at all.
Stanley Kowalski is a bad person who should be in prison.
Yes, unequivocally. And I'm really glad that Stella got the hell out of there. Well, finally.
To the safety of upstairs.
Yes,
I'm not too confident she's safe, but...
The first step is the best step.
Yes, it was the symbolism showing us at the end that she had made the decision, I'm taking this kid and we're going.
But Blanche as a character is so interesting because she was unstable from the very beginning of this. Like, and our sort of initial reaction of being like, oh my God, she's just born with a silver spoon and just is so extra, as you said.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I think a lot of that is a product of her trauma.
Yeah, she was already shattered into a million pieces, and we just didn't recognize that yet because we had only just started seeing her.
And it feels like for her to admit all of that stuff to anyone would have been so shameful for her. But like from the outside looking in, it's like, you should already be ashamed, lady, like with the way you're behaving towards it. If you don't have that piece of information, it's almost like it humanizes her and it helps you understand where she's coming from more to have that piece of information.
But that's easier for us to say about her as a character and a thing we're watching than it is for a person walking around their life to just be like, so let me explain to you all the reasons why I might need a little more consideration from you, you know? Like, that's, people don't interact that way.
Yeah, that's true.
You carry your problems around silently.
I mean, maybe somebody with a little bit more emotional maturity from Stanley could be like, Blanche, can you sit down for a minute? We don't have a lot to go around to begin with, and right now you're sort of like taking up a lot of space in our house.
Right.
So is there a way that we can find a happy middle ground where you can stay here? We're happy to have you. I know that you're Stella's sister. She loves you. I appreciate the relationship that you have, but we got 2 rooms to work with. Can we,
exactly. But he couldn't communicate that intelligently, and I also think there was some distance between the sisters that prevented, like, that's where the real communication would have taken place in a situation like this. You know, Blanche come to her sister, be like, look, I gotta level with you about what's been going on, and then she would use the understanding gained from Stella during all that to then have Stella communicate with her husband about, you know, like, tell a more guarded version to him about Blanche's troubles and that she needs our help and this and that. You know, there's communication that could have taken place, but I think there was distance between the sisters because of whatever had happened that caused Stella to leave the family in the first place.
Well, I think we didn't get any of that. So the assumption I have to make is that Stella left because, this is a thing that happens sometimes in very, very well-to-do situations where, like, one of the kids is like, I don't need all this pressure.
Right.
I'm out.
They do, but my point is that there's an exact series of events that leads to them making that decision.
Yeah, that's
and we don't
true.
have that story, and it could be one of any of 1,000 things, but there's something that created distance between the sisters that, I think that whatever it was that caused her to decide, I'm going to leave the family, I don't need this stuff, was something that maybe also, or the fact of her leaving, like you said, also the fact that she left Blanche to sort of be caring for the aging and decaying family line.
Yeah, well,
too much
Dad
pressure.
died, right? And so, like, there's 2 ways to kind of react to that. Like, there's multiple ways, and like, there's no wrong answer to this, but like, one is the way that Blanche dealt with it, which is hold on with every ounce of your being. And
long for the past.
Yeah.
She's like Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite. She's just like, I need to go back to the past, please.
And then there's how Stella did it, which is to kind of be like, fuck this, I'm out. Like, I can't deal with this. Like,
go build a new life. This life broke. Yeah.
And to be like, I want something that looks completely different from what I am currently experiencing. She was probably, for all, like, from what I'm kind of getting, I imagine that their mother was probably kind of like Blanche.
Yeah.
In her, that's sort of the vibe I get. And that Stella was probably closer to Dad. That's maybe the dynamic I'm gleaning randomly from. We didn't get a lot of information about this, but
but it's meant to be, you're meant to extrapolate, I think.
And when Dad died, Stella's like, there's nothing else for me here.
Yeah.
And she didn't take any of the money. She didn't.
Right, and Stanley was so worried about, like, where's our cut of the house is gone? What about the house?
Yeah,
and she's just like, I don't give a shit. It's not my life anymore.
Yeah, I left that life, and I'm with you now, and that's part of the point of this is that
Yeah.
I don't care where that money went. And and just how much more, I mean, Stella, it was experiencing significant hardships, but she still seemed accepting and happy even with the contrast of what her previous life was to a certain degree.
She'd found a way to be happy and accept that her problems were her problems, and she was, she seemed to have a way to enjoy the parts of her life that were enjoyable, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Whereas Blanche, like, was falling to pieces before she even got there.
Yeah.
So, like, that's a very interesting way to sort of, especially during a time period when I feel like, what am I trying to say? This also showed up in Sunset Boulevard, where it's like, there seemed to be a kind of theme where, like, all of America, with all of our capitalist dreams, was all like, being rich is great. You have everything you ever want, but you're like spiritually empty. You're like it's like psychologically not great to have all of that.
Is that cultural programming to try to tell the masses it's actually better to be poor?
Yeah.
You don't want our stuff.
Yeah. The big Hollywood suits being like, how do we convince them to not want to take what I have?
Yeah. I don't actually think that's the case.
No,
It's
but
just
that's an interesting, I mean, it's just an interesting theme that we've seen of how extra these characters are always portrayed as being.
The money can't buy happiness.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
I mean, this and Sunset Boulevard have just been two movies about a woman losing touch with reality for various reasons. They're both very tragic for that reason. And I do wonder as well how an audience in 1951 is meant to have received the revelations about Blanche and who she is. And, I just don't think that there was nearly as much forgiveness in a general audience for somebody turning to that kind of work,
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to think that, especially the way that the events were sort of presented, that a regular moviegoer who was probably what would be considered like an upper middle class person, like now, like, or was everybody going to the movies?
The kid in 12 Angry Men goes to the movies after he kills his father.
That's a good point.
He didn't kill his father,
or maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Yeah, he sure did. But I want to be able to hope that the humanity within people has some level of at least understanding of, like, well, this woman's having a hard time.
She's desperate. Yeah.
Yes, it was a turn of desperation. It wasn't that she's just a loose woman.
Right, not some cultural image of a woman who decides she wants to be a sex worker because she enjoys it more than other work.
I hope that the audiences weren't going like, you know what, Stanley has a good point, and this woman's a whore.
Yeah.
I know we've come a long way, but it just.
I hope it wasn't that bad back then. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just curious about what I mean, and how long was this a stage play before this movie was created too?
That's a good point.
The full cultural context of this is something we're still ignorant to, I guess.
Imagine a while, right?
Yeah, I would think so. I don't know when Tennessee Williams was. That seems like a late 1800s name to me, but I have no idea. I didn't pay attention in English class as well as I should have, I guess.
When did HUD come out?
1961 or 63
okay, so
or something like that, like a decade later.
A decade later, 10 years later.
Yeah.
So the only reason why I bring that up, and if you haven't seen HUD,
go watch our reaction.
Go watch our reaction. But there's just a couple of parallels between, like, the primary male roles in these movies, and sort of like, I hope. And maybe somebody who's more contemporary to these movies can, like, weigh in on this in the comments. We'd love to hear, like, your opinion of this, or how this was maybe interpreted when you saw it a long time ago. Like, how were we supposed to feel about those characters?
Were these characters seen as masculine, or were you supposed to loathe them the way that we do? Because, I mean, I know surely you're not supposed to forgive all the bad things they do, but I think their traits are supposed to be a lot more understandable to the audience, instead of just being like, dude, I don't know.
Yeah, like, was Marlon Brando, because Marlon Brando was like a hunk.
Yeah, he popularized t-shirts for sure. I get it.
And he wasn't portrayed as being the sort of ugly, slimy shitball, really. He was still like walking around in his sexy t-shirt, like he had a job at like a factory and came in with his like, but maybe that was just dressing up Marlon Brando.
Exactly. You got a movie star. You're selling your movie to, exactly.
Yeah.
It's there's blurred lines of art and commercialism in all things.
Just very interesting. This was actually
it was a good one.
Pretty convincing portrayal of someone's decline into like their mental decline and that piece that like kind of puts them over the edge. And also something that I thought was interesting to think about was like, you know, how women were treated as people in this time period. Yeah. And then the sort of the commentary that we hear about this time period, like, oh, she's hysterical and she, you know, we had to put her in an asylum because she just couldn't, you know.
Maybe she's having an understandable reaction to being horribly mistreated.
Yeah, systematically horribly mistreated to the point where, like, that shit's just happening. Seems like in all these guys' relationships, the cops don't care to show up.
Yeah. And then she had her very burning bright young love as well. And so like everything has just been a continuous downward slope from there. And she's just, her brain just wondering how much lower can we go? You know?
Until she just completely loses track of reality. And then they're like, well, put her in the padded room then.
Lock her up so nobody has to think about her. Yeah,
right.
It's rough.
Yeah.
Depressing one, but a very well done movie and well told story.
I maybe one more thing that I would like to just discuss. The amount of physicality in this movie, I was always I spent the entire time like tensed up because I felt like at any moment somebody could get thrown against a wall, hit, something would get thrown, destroyed, and it wasn't just Stanley. Like, the guys were having big fights inside this house.
It was explosive. There was an explosive energy all throughout it.
And like short fuses all the way around. And like they weren't afraid to like. I didn't feel like there were a lot of punches like pulled. I mean, I know they were because it's a movie.
Right, but it was very well performed. Yeah, and the movie did have you kind of walk on eggshells the whole time through. You didn't know who would burst or for what reason or in what way.
And I feel like achieving that in a convincing way, especially with these long shots, there's no computer compositing going on. There's like that would have just been like just the choreography. Like you think about almost every scene would have had like some piece.
I think it's called blocking when they're just acting.
Yeah, sure. But I mean, some of these were fights. You know, they're not just moving around the room.
Yeah, in a fight, it's choreography. Yeah,
they're pushing each other into walls and stuff. So it's like I was impressed with how effectively they used physicality in a small space.
For sure, it didn't feel choreographed. It really felt like they were just like roughing around and stuff. And that's a good point. That's why I didn't even, that word struck me to be like dancing. I was like, no, that's not. No, you're right. There was
fight choreography basically.
Yeah, it was just extremely organically done. It's a good point.
And so I thought that was really cool. And the only thing that's going to help me sleep at night is to know that Marlon Brando and these two like women who were in the scenes, like when they hit cut, were just like, like, you okay? Like sorry, I hope I didn't, you know, like, you just want to go out for dinner after we shoot and stuff, you know, like in a platonic way.
I think Marlon Brando is known for having been not the nicest guy after they called cut, but I'm not positive about that. But I think there are some stories that you can Google.
I believe it. I believe it.
With that, maybe we should wrap our Streetcar Named Desire discussion, but I really enjoyed that. Yeah, thank you for selecting this movie for us. Scott, AKA Blue62. You are continuing to educate us on the old classics that we missed out on. So, thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you for another one another time. Until then, I'm Sean.
I'm Nate.
This is Ketchup Packets.